Farrell on it again, deep one around the back, Quinn there's the Frenchman goal! It's Andrew Quinn, the underdogs bare their teeth and show their fight in this cup final. Drogheda United strike first.
Welcome to the We Are the Drogs podcast, a Drogheda United fans podcast, proudly sponsored by the Coffee Box.
Hello and welcome to the We Are the Drogs podcast, episode number 13. So this week, just joined by Richie, all on his Todd. How are you, Richie?
Yeah, good, Greg's. How's things?
Yeah, not too bad. I was telling you just before we start, I'm a bit dosed, so if I sound mental, people I always sound mental, but if I sound a bit weird, you'll know why.
Yeah, totally understandable.
If I take into a big spit of coughing in the middle of it, you have to keep the show on the road.
I was just talking to myself.
Yeah, we're not sure where Owen is. He disappeared. He won't answer any of our calls. We think it might have upset him last week.
Yeah, he must have fallen out with us, did he?
Yeah, I don't know. Either that or he's out playing pitch and putt with Chad Martin or something more important.
Yeah, and I had our best of buddies there, the two boys, alright?
Oh, it happened for a long time, apparently. Yeah. Best mates.
He got that one quiet.
Either that or he's doing a horticultural exam with Big Al.
Oh.
Well, he's helping Big Al study for his horticulture exam, I heard. That's probably what it is.
Can't believe Big Al missed the football over that.
You know, yeah. Priorities, Richie. Priorities.
Big Al texts us there later on.
Anyway, look, Matt was on field. That was a cracking result on Friday night. 1-0 Drogs against Derry.
Yeah, it was. It was a massive result. It was just exactly what we needed.
Big time,
you know. Yeah. Probably didn't play magnificently again, but do we really care at this stage? As I said last week, I'm just quite happy just to be winning away at the minute. But it was definitely better than the Sligo game, though.
Yeah, I mean, it was fairly typical of us at the moment. I think we started pretty slowly and struggled to get to the pace of the game in the first half. In saying that, defensively we were very, very good, which is what we haven't been. Overly tight at the back, and I think we've been obviously giving away a lot of goals and all that. But look, again, I mean, we'll have to talk about that too. Owen was saying it last week and all that. When you look at the stats, like we we're right up there with some of the best defences in the league, like, which is really bizarre when you think about the amount of goals that we think we've been conceding, soft goals and all that. For us, we definitely have. But I thought the other night, like, apart from, we'll get to the chances and that, but apart from one kind of double save, Finn Tally really had nothing to do.
No. And, like, I definitely think it's a big part now as well. Like, you've seen Conor Keane in the last couple of weeks now. He's back to the level that we know Conor plays at. And yeah, I think when Conor's on it, I think we're all on it. The whole back line. Now look, going to the back four, I think that's helped as well. And as Ryan said, I think it was one of his interviews today, it's going to take a few weeks to adapt to that again. It's not going to happen overnight. But we're after winning 3 out of the last 4 with playing that system. But Conor just man in the back line there and playing to the levels that he plays at, I think it settles the whole team down.
Yeah, I have to say, I thought Conor Kane the other night was just, in the second half, was just phenomenal. Some of the little blocks he was getting in, and he was absolutely brilliant.
He was, yeah. No, I thought the back four were really good. The whole lot of them.
I did. I think that was Baje's best game.
He was good, wasn't he?
Oh, best 45 minutes, maybe the second half. Yeah, I thought he was superb.
Yeah, I was actually talking to him, would you believe now, during the week. I was talking to him before the Derry game.
All right.
Yeah, so they were buzzing now. I was talking to a few of them, and they were buzzing. They said training's going really well, and he goes, "It's going to click." He said, "It's about to click." Like they're really happy with training. They're really happy with how things are going. So which is good to hear. It's good to hear that from behind the scenes. Like, you don't really hear things like that.
No, that's, and it's really interesting, because, 3 or 4 weeks ago, you would not have said that, because we were discussing it on here, thinking, is there a bit of discontent in the camp? Is there something going on? Because it seemed a bit off.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Yeah, and I think it was off there. Like, there's no point saying, everything was rosy. It wasn't, and I think the players were probably pissed off with themselves the way things were going.
Yeah.
I know that, like as I said, the standards that they set last season for themselves, they just weren't doing it this season. Well, at the start of the season, I suppose. But look, as I said, it's good to hear now when the players are happy with things, how things are going on training, and it's just about to click. That's good confidence, So I was glad to hear him saying that.
No, 100%. Look, I suppose we'll get any kind of negatives out of the way first. Like looking at that first half the other night. Now, I wouldn't have been that confident about getting it out of that game. I thought it was kind of typical of a Derry and Drogheda game over the last few years. Maybe that Derry had a lot of the ball. We're pretty much guaranteed. We know they're going to have a lot of the ball, and they did. I think they did 70% of the ball. We really struggled to try and put a foot on it and find a player, and it was kind of typical of the way we have been playing of late. We're not getting, again, it's the possession word, but you know what I mean? It's not the fact of, I want to have more possession or an even amount of possession. I mean, it doesn't matter. If you win a game, you win a game. But, you have to give your best players the ball and have them on the ball to create stuff. And it didn't feel that way the other night in the first half. I was kind of thinking, we're going to end up conceding here if we keep on soaking up this much pressure. But the other side of that, when you look at it, is that we didn't really, as I said, we didn't give away an awful lot of chances. I think defensively we were very, very solid as a team, all the way up from the lads up top were defending really, really well, and then the four boys at the back, and the keeper was doing really, really doing very well as well, and he didn't have an awful lot to do. But I don't know. How did you see the first half?
Yeah, definitely agree with you now a lot there. Now, just probably the first 15, 20 minutes, you're like, oh, here we go again. You were just nearly waiting for Derry to score, even though they didn't create that many chances.
Yeah.
You were still, it's still not happening for us. It's still not clicking. But funny enough, do you know what I actually thought toward the game? I think when Darren Markey got booked, didn't Darren get booked in the first half? I think it was the first half. This is where we miss out now.
Yeah, it's that boy.
It just felt like the crowd. Now, there was a few lads booing him now. I don't get that at all. Now, I think it was only a handful. It wasn't too many. But I think when Darren got booked, the crowd sort of tore a little bit on him and on Derry, and got really up behind Drogheda, and the atmosphere lifted for some reason. And I thought that was a turning point in the game.
Right.
Because I know I sort of got lifted because I said I wasn't booing Darren, I never would boo him. But when he put the tackle in, I think it was a tackle he put in and he got booked for it, I was like, fuck off, Darren, That was your natural reaction. But I think everybody around us sort of did the same reaction and got up for it. And it felt like a turning point, and I thought we kicked on from then. Like we really did, but definitely the first 20 minutes, you're like, oh, here we go again. We just went on it. But the back four well, and they were solid. That's probably what kept us in it. And we sort of walked away into the game.
No, definitely, yeah. Just on the booing thing as well, I think it was a lot. There was a lot of kids beside us kind of booing him. You could hear like the boo, like little kids' voices. I don't think it was anyone.
No.
Any of the older crowd were really booing him.
No. There was definitely nobody around us. Now I'd be around the halfway line. There was definitely nobody around us booing him. Definitely not.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't a bit fucking daft.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, just on the on the stats here, 69% possession, 31 to them. But the vast majority of that possession was in and around the middle of the park.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was literally them getting the ball, centre halves playing it out to the midfielders, or centre halves making their way up the pitch to kind of around the halfway line and kind of passing it over and back and over and back and over and back.
Mm.
You know, it was there was no penetration there whatsoever. It says here 34% of that possession was in the middle of the park.
Yeah, there you go.
So,
And you know what I mean? They ain't going to hold you in the middle of the pack.
no.
So,
No.
look, I thought Derry, not that Derry were poor, they've some nice players, but they just, I don't know, I just never fear playing Derry. I always fancy our chances playing them, especially at home.
Yeah.
You know, when you're up against Shamrock Rovers or Patch, you're like, oh, these guys will give you a bloody run around, and both of them did this season, but I don't see Derry, I just never see Derry doing that. You know, I always think of a chance against them. Now, there's some nice players. I thought James Clark was good. I thought he played well the other night for them. And the full back was Barr, I think was his name. He was a threat. But apart from that, the rest of them just, they didn't do anything. They didn't harm us at all, whatsoever.
No, and a lot of Derry people were saying it, like when the team sheet came out, you know, you're wondering, like, why they're playing James Clark as this false number 9 carry on,
Yeah.
which that must drive strikers mad. Like, even lads sat on the bench.
Yeah. And wasn't it near enough at the end they brought on they made the 3 changes?
Barry Cotter and the 2 boys.
Yeah, and they were a lot more of a threat with the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, they kind of pretty much, we knew that was coming. They were going to try and bombard us for the last 5 or 10 minutes and try and get something from the game, but they definitely controlled it a lot more. They had a lot more possession in the right areas of the pitch, and, you know, a couple of shots from the shot from distance that might have crossed the line or might not have, I don't know, but I mean, it makes no difference now. I laughed and said I actually hope it did, just to annoy them even more, but do you know what I mean? But, like, yeah, no, a very, very strange team selection. He brings on Josh Thomas in the 93rd minute.
Yeah, I don't even think he touched the ball.
Crazy, Richie.
Yeah, it is because he is a threat. Like you can't deny it. Like, he is a threat.
Oh, yeah.
But like just talking about the Derry team getting the team wrong. Like, I thought Daddy got his team spot on. I thought it was the right team out for that game.
Yeah.
You know, I know we were talking about it last week. We probably called it. Now, I got a bit of stick off Puddles during the week for calling Cruz going in at full back. And off Declan Crosby now is I wasn't saying he should go in, lads. I'm just saying it could be an option. The 2 boys lashed me out of the John Douglas when he did.
It's only an opinion, boys.
You what?
It's only an opinion.
Not in opinion, yeah. No, definitely. No, I definitely thought it was the right team now. The midfield, it was good to see Ryan back in there, wasn't it?
Yeah, look, again, like, we've talked bloody ad nauseum about Ryan over the years, but, like, you know, the vast majority of times that man is on the pitch, he does a job, and he did the job the other night. It was great to see him stepping up and taking his penalty. I think the last one he took he missed, and he said he was off penalties from there on in or whatever, but he said he was only too happy to step up, and what a penalty. It was one of them. If he blasted it over, I would have been absolutely fuming, going, what was he at? But just top the roof of the net, like, bam. There's no saving them.
No, there's not. And like that was some pressure kick, wasn't it?
Oh God, yeah.
The mouths are like a nil, you know, and desperate for home, and like serious pressure.
Yeah.
Look, I never doubt Ryan, and I often said it here before. I know the boys are the same, Gavin and Killian and Sean. The boys ooze confidence when it comes to stuff like that, free kicks and penalties.
Yeah.
The forward about the same when they played, no problems with them. They'd step up, you know, they'd be the type of lads that never shy away from anything like that. So it's great to see Ryan. You know what I mean? You'd always trust him. Now, look, of course, he's going to miss penalties. Everybody misses a penalty.
Yeah.
But, no, he had the confidence to step up there and take it, and the real captain's moment for him. So it was, you know,
Yeah, no, it felt like that he was the right man to just grab the ball and go, right, lads, I'll sort this out, and he did, and it just made it even. I think that made the win even more sweeter with him getting the winner as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. But like he's after playing a lot of football now in the last couple of weeks. We're after been busy now with matches and that. Like I know he missed the Rovers game, but I think there's no harm on missing the Rovers game because you're up in Tally, you probably do a lot of running. Like you're probably chasing the ball a lot compared to maybe any other match. So
Mm.
now I know he said I think it was his thigh hamstring or thigh or whatever. So I
Yeah,
probably did have to skip that one out, and it meant we got back to the Derry game. So yeah, look, I think that we got the team spot on. I thought
no,
Shane
I think
Farr was really good as well.
no, I do. I'll come back to that in a minute, but just pick up on the point there you were saying, and I know Kevin did allude to it in an interview or two that we didn't write off the game in Tala. And I mean, it was him that said it. Like the interviewer didn't say that to him. He says, "I know," and he says, "I know, no, we didn't." Like it's not as if we didn't go to Tala to try and win. Blah blah blah. But I think subconsciously does when you have 4 games in the space of 2 weeks. Friday, Monday, Friday. Or 3 games. Sorry. That there's definitely an element of look, we've Derry at home next Friday. It's going to affect you. It's going to affect your team selection. It is without a doubt. But I would agree 100%. I think the team that we started the other night was absolutely bang on. All the way from Tally to the back four: Farrell, Ryan Brennan, Warren Davis, Kavanagh, Alua, and then Doyle up front.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have any changes to make to that. I think that's the team that you said you'd start, obviously, apart from the Cruise thing, but more or less, that's the team we all said we'd start.
Yeah, no, it was the right team. And look, there's definitely, and I know as football fans, now I know I do it, you definitely look at the next 3 or 4 matches in advance and you're saying, right, we definitely try and pick up 3 here, or you got 4 points out of this weekend, it'd be a good weekend. We all do it. There's no doubt Doherty and Dara Doyle do the same. When they would have looked at that run of fixtures, they would have looked now, I definitely don't think he went up there and said, fecker lads, we won't bother with this one. But he would have picked and choose what players to play, and if was the player due a rest or needed a breather maybe, or like Ryan, a slight injury, he was definitely over his game say, yeah, look, sit it out. It was had to be the home match against Sligo or Watford, and Ryan was a bit tight. They'd say, look, we still need you to play. Like this is the one we have to win. But I think the Rovers. Look, I always take up the Rovers as a free shot anyway. I think anything get up there as a bonus. It's a fixture I always look at to say we don't really get anything up there. No, and it's probably not the right way to be looking at it. And I know players and managers might look at it different, but it is what it is,
Yeah, I think
don't get anything.
I think we're at a stage in our development that any kind of point or any kind of win you get in Tala is a massive bonus, and it's never expected. So I hope over the next couple of years, if we keep going on an upward trajectory, that we'll start kind of picking up more results in these places. It's something about Tala for us, because I know we've gone to Inchicore and we've won the last 3 games in a row in Dalymount. We've done well in the Brandy. It's every single ground in the league apart from Tala. I don't know what it is. You don't want to be getting this kind of bogey thing in your head like that. We just do not get anything in Tala, but it has been like that for the last 2 years.
Oh yeah,
it's annoying.
That's really bad. Yeah, no, it is. But don't get me wrong now. I definitely think when Rovers come down to Drogheda, I expect us to get something.
Oh, absolutely. We've performed very well against them in United Park over the last few years.
Yeah. So, but I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it when you go up there. I think you go up there and you can have a right go at Rovers, right? Go at them head to head. I think they could spank you.
Yeah.
I think they could absolutely run amok on you.
Which they did anyway.
They did anyway, but you could have been looking at a higher score now, I think, if you're playing more open, all-out attack up in Tala. Well, yeah, look, I think you're right. I think as we are evolving as a team and as a club, you'd like to think the next couple of seasons to be up there challenging them. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what it does. But yeah, look, it is what it is. But it was that you said themselves, like, we're after playing like 4 games there, we got 9 points out of 12. That's a great return.
3 wins out of 4 is top form. It's only matched by Rovers. No one else in the league
Yeah.
has matched
And
that.
plus then it's after jumping us all of a sudden into joint 5th.
I know.
It's crazy. Now, don't get me wrong, I know we're not clear of the bottom because it is that tight. But all of a sudden, you're looking at the table and you're joint 5th, and you've got Ryan talking about it's a platform now to challenging for a European push. That's where
Yeah.
you want to be. That's the talk you want to talk. So, yeah, it was a massive couple of weeks, wasn't it, for us?
No, huge. And I mean, you're right. We're 3 points outside of the playoff and we're, 3 points off foot.
Yeah.
So, and we've a game in hand as well, which I know that game in hand is against Watford in the RSC, which is never a good place to go, but they seem to, they might have looked like they were turning in a bit of a corner until the other night, and then they go and get a bit of a hiding. So
Yeah.
that's good for us.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, that's another big game. I know we'll probably talk about that later, but that game in hand is massive.
Yeah, we will get to it. We'll talk about it. But just to say, we need them to be cut adrift. Yeah, as much as possible. But just going back to the Derry game, again, I mean, Derry supporters will know a lot more about the team selection and that than I would, because I wouldn't keep that close of an eye on it. But playing James Clark where they did as well was a bit unexpected for a lot of them. But a lot of them were also saying as well that your man Santos come on and scored the winner the equaliser the week before. And people were very surprised at him getting a start, because I think that was his first start. And also Mickey Duffy coming back from injury as well. A lot of people are saying that he's not on it, and he's certainly not the fit Mickey Duffy that we would all fear. Like, although I think Kevin and Dara have had a bit of a handle on how to deal with him in the last couple of years, and some of them are also saying about they feel like they're kind of shoehorning Dara Markey into that side as well, and Tiernan Lynch doesn't really know where to play him and all sorts of things. I think that's what's causing such annoyance above. It's just that they've a wealth of riches on that bench. Like, when you look at the bench, it was laughable the other night. Like, who they could afford to bring on, and you'd be very fearful of looking at them if you look at the team on paper and go, fucking hell, like, these are going to be hard to deal with, but they're just not. They're just not hard to deal with. I don't know what it is. As you said earlier on, there's never a mad fear of playing Derry City. I don't know what it is. I mean, they haven't won in United Park in 3 years. I was blown away by that stat. I was like, fucking hell, 3 years, like.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Isn't it?
That is mad, yeah. But it's the old classic example that, like, have they got too many players, have they? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, if Taylor Lynch is there training all week and he's watching all these players and he's got this amount of players to pick from, and like, it is a thing, you're trying to keep them all happy, and then you're just not getting a settled team, and there's players in 1 week, as you said, Javante Santos scored last week and then he was out of the team this week, so the players are not getting that run of consistency, but yeah, I do always be fearful of that now, squads being overloaded. It is probably a tight balance to get. Now, look, it'll probably help them now when they go into European football now in the summer. There'll be a lot of games coming thick and fast, so you'll be able to rotate your squad. But at the minute, it's not working for them.
Yeah.
It's a big problem, so it's a big problem. Now, look, I know Rovers probably have the same, but I don't think Rovers have as big of a squad as Derry.
I don't know, and I think Rovers seem to have a really nice mix of young lads, as we said last week, coming through the academy and starting their careers and that as well. I think Derry kind of tend to bring in players from other League of Ireland teams. Obviously, they took Dara Markey off us. They took James Clark off Bohs, and Patrick McLean from Sligo, and I think that was the complaint last year with a lot of them, was that he brought in all these Earlflas that, well, not Earlflas, but you know what I mean, lads that were at the latter end of their careers that were coming in from Scotland and League One in the UK and all that, and it was very hard for him to try and kind of fit them all into the team. And I think the average age of that team last year was really old, relatively speaking, in football terms. But he just doesn't seem to have got that balance, does he, Lynch? He just doesn't seem to know who he wants to start and where he wants to start them, which is, it's kind of weird when you know he had a blank slate this year to more or less. You know, a lot of players on contracts and that, but they were players that he had signed and players that he wanted in the building, and he got rid of a lot of players last year. What I mean, when you look at the budget and the money that they're spending in comparison to what Drogheda United are spending on a weekly or monthly basis, it's fucking night and day. And we're locked on the same points after the other night. Like, it's incredible. Like, some job Kevin's doing.
It is, yeah. And we're probably we've probably a better squad of players. Not technically, but we've probably a better balance of a squad. And we've probably a more hard-working squad than them, and we've a more happier squad than them. You know, it's not all about going and signing the best players in the league in every position and let's go and win the league. It doesn't work like that. You need to get the balance and the chemistry right. And it looks like they don't have that in Derry. Like, it looks like we do have it. I'm not saying we're brilliant or anything, but like, I always just see them talking to players. They always seem to be a happy bunch of players with Drogheda, you know. They all sign up to what Doherty wants. It's all real hard work. You know what I mean? If you're in there, you go in and do a job. If you're out next week, you sit on the bench and you're happy and you're ready to go. Which is credit to Doherty and the club, you know.
Yeah, I suppose, sort of bringing in a few kind of unknowns, which we did this year, and then, you know, a couple of younger heads like Edmund Agbaje and all that. I don't think the pressure is anywhere near what it would be in Derry. You know, Derry's a city, but it's a small enough city. A lot of the lads would live in Derry and walk around the town during the day and all that. And I'm sure the pressure is fairly fucking pretty hardcore on a lot of them players, because there's a lot of, like, it's a one football town as well, and they've their own media and stuff like that, like newspapers and radio and the whole lot of it. And like, they get a lot of publicity from BBC NI up there and that as well. And, you know, so much has been made of the budget that your man, Philip O'Doherty, has, the amount of money that he has pumped into that football club. And I mean, he pretty much came out at the beginning of the year and said, we need to win the league. Yeah. You know, him and McLean at that press conference pretty much sat there and said it barefaced. Right, no, we need to win the league. Like, that's the kind of expectation here. Like, that's tough going on a manager.
Oh, it is, and it's tough going on players as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you're expected to come in and win the league. I mean, like, a lot of them players, and as we said already, they've signed a lot of new players this year, so it could take them a season or two just to bed in to the culture, especially up around Derry, and what style of play and the fans, the way they react to stuff, you know what I mean? So, yeah, but it's a lot of money, isn't it, put into a team to be sitting down, well, not sitting in the bottom, but just not performing, really. You know, it's a different kind of pressure that's on us, isn't it? Or Sligo, or like a Watford, even a Dundalk, isn't it? It's a different type of pressure.
No, it is, Richie, but I mean, I even find it like it's a different kind of pressure, and I think they put it on themselves. Like, I mean, Shelbourne are under a lot of pressure. I mean, Joey O'Brien seems to be under a lot of pressure, and there's people talking about him losing his job every week and all that, but I don't think the players feel like they're under as much pressure as the Derry players. I don't think the Bohs players even feel like they're under as much pressure as the Bohs players. I mean, Bohs won the first game the other night, first game in 9 or something.
Yeah.
Like, they went and they had a great start to the season, and then the fucking wheels completely fall off. I mean, it's a bit of a pattern up there now. But I still feel like the pressure that seems to be on the Derry, definitely on Tiernan Lynch, but definitely on the Derry players. You can even see the frustration growing and growing and growing in them the other night when they didn't get that early goal, and they realised that this Drogheda team is in United Park isn't going to lie down. The crowd was up for it, the players were up for it, and obviously Kevin's up for it on the sideline. They knew they were in a battle, And it's probably a good time to get to the goal, but excuse me, obviously Ryan steps up and blasts the penalty down, which we already spoke about, but to me that's a stonewall penalty all day. There's no doubts about that.
Yeah, I know all day long. It was Warren that won it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The Warren, but just even like they want about Warren, he's a class act, and the kid's just getting better and better. I know last season now with that little injury now last year might have set back and a few little things with the whole European thing and that, but like I think he's just getting better and better as a player. He's getting so mature as well. The player, just watching him out, like his burst of pace over such a short distance.
Yeah.
It's crazy, it's scary, and he's got the strength now as well. And he's pushing senior players, experienced players off the ball, and he's winning it back, and he's making stuff happen. Like he's a proper little gem, I think.
No, he is. He's lethal. He's lethal on the ball, and you can see them backing off, and they're shitting themselves when he's coming running at you, because he has the pace to put the ball past you and go round you, or he put through your legs. I mean, he's really, really tricky, and I love his closing down of centre halves and goalkeepers and all that. I think it's a big part of his game, and I don't know many times in the last few years where he's closed down a keeper and won the ball. Because he scored a few goals from doing things like that, but he's just one of them players. You just have to watch him like a hawk. And I'm 100%. And the reason I bring that up about the penalty was because there was a couple of doubts, kind of people saying, "Oh, it was a bit soft. It was this, that, and the other." Yeah, man, there was two players on him. One of them basically put his leg backwards and just kind of knocked him off the ball. I mean, that's anywhere else on the pitch, that's a free kick, so that's a fucking penalty without a doubt.
Oh, penalty. And like, you probably usually know by the reaction of players. Like, I don't think Derry really complained about it.
No.
You know, I know. Now, obviously, when the ref gives it, that reaction straight away is, "Oh, that's never a pen." But I think deep down he knew it wasn't, and he didn't really say much in interviews after about it either.
No.
But
No.
it was. But just even Warren, and even watching him, he's clever when he closes the player down. He's not just running around like a headless chicken. Now, he's not just running for the sake of it. He times when he closes down, he knows exactly when to do it, when not to do it. And to me, that's just signs of a lad getting real experience and real mature. And like, remember, he's still only a young lad.
Absolutely.
Like,
what's he, 21 or 22?
Yeah, he's been around Drogheda a while now, and people probably still think he's a lot older than what he is. He's only a young lad. That's what I said. I think he's a real little gem, and I think he's only going to get better. Hopefully he's staying with us and getting better.
Yeah, no, I know. And obviously there was that kind of whole thing a couple of years ago where he might be going to the UK, and it seemed to, I don't know, it definitely affected his season that year. He started like a house on fire. He was absolutely brilliant, and it kind of tailed off. His goals kind of tailed off and all that. That's one thing I would love to see, is him getting a consistent run in the team and just kind of add some more goals to his game, because I think he's a serious goal scorer when he's on form.
Yeah.
Brilliant goals.
Yeah, no, and look, he doesn't go back to the night in Tolka, like 2 goals up in Tolka.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I mean, that's not easy to do. But,
no. And his goal up in Derry, Richie, the last time we played in the Brandywell, where we brought it back to the draw match, his goal up in Derry was unbelievable.
That's right, yeah. He's the confidence, doesn't he? He's a confident player.
Oh, he's seriously skillful.
Yeah. So, no, it's great. It's great to see that. And I think he works well in the front three with Doyle and Alua. Now, I still would like another proper number 9. You know, now that's not knocking Mark Doyle now, because, you know what I mean, Doyle's still scoring goals, and I know the leading goal scorer in the league's not massive numbers, but he's in the mix with them. I mean, so he's not doing anything different to any other striker in the league, so he's not.
No, I think he's only one behind.
Yeah, so like, it's not as if they're all like 12, 13, 15 goals maybe. They're all only on 5 or 6 goals, all strikers in the league. So he's doing the same as everybody else. But would you love to see Warren now and Alua off? a big number 9, wouldn't you? That hold the ball up and bring them two in even more. I don't think Doyle can do that. I don't think Doyle's that type of player.
No.
But big, strong, physical, absolute, you know what I'm trying to say, big cunt up front. You know, it's been that just absolutely just terrorise the centre halves.
Yeah,
You know,
no, I agree. I was listening to, I think it was the Irish Independent lads were talking about the results at the weekend, and they were talking about the big lad Dundalk have up front, not Owen Kenny, the other chap, what's his name?
I know the champion, I can't remember his name.
Oh, yeah. But he is literally what you're talking about there. He's really good with his back to goal and, excuse me, takes in the ball and brings in the wide players and all that. I don't think that's Mark Doyle's game. But look, if Mark Doyle can keep putting the ball in the back of the net, it's the rest of his overall game. I just don't know sometimes what he's kind of contributing to the team. And I know that sounds weird when a player is scoring goals. Like, that's the most important thing for him, I suppose. But sometimes you just wish that we could kind of retain the possession a little bit more in that area of the pitch and bring in the wide players and kind of create chances and stuff. Sometimes I think he struggles in that area of the pitch. But again, he's not a number 9 naturally, is he? That's not his position.
No. So like, you're basically getting a player to play out of position and do a job that's not his style and not what he's used to. But yeah,
So
now in the next transfer window, we can get a striker in, you know.
So that's what I was going to say. I mean, in theory, if you were to bring in that kind of player, like a big, strong number 9, you might be able to start kind of varying things up where you're playing Doyle off him out wide and, Alua on one side, Doyle on the other, or Warren on one side and Doyle on the other, whatever it might be. But it just gives you more options up top, because I think we all think that Derry is a decent player, but he's just young and it's difficult for him just throwing him into games and saying, right, here's your role, here's what we need you to do. And I think he'll do it from time to time, but he's definitely not going to be a starter every week, like.
No, definitely not. And it's like, yeah, as you said, it would be very unfair. Like, I know I did say it a couple of weeks ago that we need to throw him in there, but that was when we were sort of struggling a little bit, and it was really unfair to throw him into a struggling team for a young lad, but no, and like, I think now the English season being over and over, a lot of players are going to be released and free agents now in the next few days.
Yeah.
So, and I know you can sign players once they're out of contract. You can bring a player in.
What's your feelings on that, Richie? Do you think, first of all, Travella would be willing, if Kevin is going looking, to try and bring in 2 or 3? Do you think that would happen?
Yeah, no, definitely. And like, we're probably in a good position now. Hopefully we stay up the next couple of weeks that we are in a position that we're pushing for a European spot. So then they'd say, right, hold on, we have something here to play for. We're up the right end of the table. Like, we're not asking them to go and sign another 5 or 6 players, really. Like, it's like another 1 or 2, I think, would make a big, big difference. And I've been on here the last couple of weeks about it, like, with that, give them more money. Let them go sign that striker. Let them go sign that midfielder. And I think that's all we need. Like another ball playing midfielder and a proper number 9. I think that's all we need.
Yeah, I think it's kind of blaringly obvious at the moment, though, when we do have a couple of injuries, and we've had a bit of bad luck on the injury front. I mean, every team does, but some teams can cope with it a lot better than we can, because we were down to the bare bones on the bench, like.
Yeah. So we have to play Bulger in midfield up at Shamrock Rovers.
Exactly. That's the point.
So that's why I love another ball playing midfielder. That'll give us another player like Ethan O'Brien.
Yeah, and also you made a good point there. Like, if we're kind of pushing up the table rather than looking down, but at the moment it's there's a kind of a limbo there. You know what I mean? If you win a couple of games, you're going to go right up into the top 4. If you lose a couple of games, you're going to go right down into the bottom 2. So, he probably has all the cards to play when he goes to Travella and says, lads, look, we need to bring in a few players. I want us to kind of, get into these European spots, or, just behind the European spots going into the, the final sort of run of the season. And you don't want to be looking over your shoulder, because I am really of the opinion that this is going to go down to the wire this year, with probably 2 or 3 teams that will be looking over their shoulder at that playoff spot.
Yeah.
I think maybe if Waterford get cut adrift, and I hope they do, I think everyone else at the moment, it's looking like Drogheda, Sligo, Shells, Derry, everybody's kind of looking behind them at that playoff spot now.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, look, probably apart from Shamrock Rovers and Pats at the minute.
Yeah.
Like the rest, there's nobody else performing regular or a consistent run of play. Like there's nobody else apart from them two, and they're the top 2. They're 1 and 2 at the minute. Like, you see Bohs after a great start, all of a sudden fell apart from them. Like Bohs actually nearly went a full round of fixtures without winning the match. Nearly had the clean sweep.
9 games.
Yeah, 9 games. So I think Dundalk, listening to a few lads now, I know 1 or 2 of the lads that started to fall a little bit, starting to crumble a little bit. Little signs of stuff crumbling. Horgan didn't come out to start the second half the other night. Apparently they fell apart.
Yeah, he was ill. He was sick or something like that. He probably shouldn't have even have started the game, but without him, they just fell to bits.
They fell to pieces, yeah. Coleman got sent off, talking to the lad the other day, and he was delighted he got sent off, because he said he's bloody useless,
Really?
Yeah, he said he can't even run, he said he's a waste of time, so, and you see, and everybody said, oh, they're flying, they're having a great season. They're not really, like, as Owen said last week, they've 1 more win than us. Actually, they were level on wins, because we won the other night and they were better. So, I could see them starting to get pulled back into it. Shells and Derry are a shit show at the minute. Ourselves, Sligo and Galway are probably just keeping their heads above water. Galway actually quite well. Galway, I know everybody was writing them off to start the season. I called it at the start of the season. I knew they'd be okay. Not that they are okay yet, you know what I mean? But they're always hard to play. But you're right, though. I think if Waterford get cut adrift, I think the rest was all in that battle there. And it's tight, because everybody can beat everybody in this league, it seems.
Yeah, look, it honestly makes me laugh, the narrative around the League of Ireland coming from, the so-called experts and journalists and all that. Like, at the beginning of the year, most of them had Dundalk written off. They're going to get relegated. Like, they're up from the 4th division. They haven't signed that many. I think within the last maybe 2 weeks of the transfer window, they brought in a couple. They brought in the striker from Derry, and they brought in a couple of the lads from Bohs, Cornwall and the other flag. People might have changed their mind a little bit on them then. And then all of a sudden, they went on a decent run and they got a few wins on the trot and they were playing decent enough football, and the whole narrative changes then. It's like, oh, Dundalk are going great guns, like they're looking up the table towards European football and all that. And everyone else had us kind of more or less saying, oh, well, if Drogheda can kind of go 1 better than last year, they'll be doing really, really well for themselves. And we didn't have a great start, but we didn't have the worst start. Well, we had a great start. Obviously, we won the first game. We won the first 2, I think, did we? And go with Waterford. But, like, it's so funny. Football's a funny old game, and I know that's the cliche, but it is a funny old game. Like, especially in a 10-team league. If you win 3 games out of 4, like we've just done, and Dundalk have lost 3 games out of 4, it's just right. We'll see as we'll just pass you out on the way up, and we'll be waving at you on the way back down again. And even in the media, they kind of still don't acknowledge it to a degree, because they all kind of try and cling on to, what they've been talking about over the last few weeks. I think even some of them were kind of writing off Sligo for a bit. Sligo get written off every year. They seem to have pulled it out of the fire kind of early this year. They've settled down and they look hard to beat. Waterford, I don't know if anyone is tipping Waterford to stay up at the moment, because they've just brought in another manager now and it seems to be going into a bit of a shit show. Shells, total disaster. They can't win a game at home. Don't think they've won a game at home all season. Totally bizarre. It's fucking nuts, man. And then when you go through them all, Derry, Derry were on a decent enough run. People were giving Tiernan Lynch the benefit of the doubt over the last few games because he's done all right. They haven't won a lot, but they haven't lost either. Then they go and lose to us the other night, and it's World War Three again. And the Derry support, they want rid of him again. You know what I mean? So it's seriously fickle. Like,
Yeah, and plus
it's
as well,
crazy.
if you think of all them teams they were after mentioning now, not one of them teams had any other issues to be dealing with, like off-field problems like we did.
Yes.
Like, none of them had a transfer, none of them had an away ban.
Yeah.
None of them had the whole issue with Joanna Ball and all that. You know what I mean? Like, so, not saying it was an excuse or that was the reason, but we had a lot more to deal with off the pitch than all these clubs. But it seems that, like, oh, everybody else is fine, but we're not fine. You know? Like, things have settled down for us in the last couple of weeks, and you've seen it now. All of a sudden, the results are going our way. You know, so I definitely think, and I said it as well before. Like, we all seem to go after a brilliant start every season. You know what I mean? And that's great for you and that, but we all sort of die off at the end of it. Like,
Yeah.
hopefully, this is the opposite. You know, it's nice now to finish strong. And like, if we go back now to as well, the year that we won the cup, like we were in an awful position coming into that transfer window.
Yeah.
We were in an awful position. All of a sudden, he brought in 5 or 6 players. Now, I don't think he'll do that again. But what's stopping him bringing in another 1 or 2, maybe 3 players? You know, quality players, and they could really kick it on. It really, really could. Like, the transfer window's massive now, I think, this time coming around.
No, it is, because I mean, I think some of those teams we've just mentioned, I know Sligo have already brought in a lad from Cliftonville, and apparently he's highly enough rated. I heard the Sligo lads on their podcast talking about that. I'm not sure who the player is. I didn't pick up on the name, but I was interested. I was thinking, all right, they've already brought him in. I'm not sure how that works, because their league is I think is it over, or is there another week or 2 left?
It could be over, because I know the cup final was played already, so it was last week, weeks ago.
Right. But I can see, like, there's a few clubs I can't see bringing in anybody, and that's the likes of Shelbourne and Derry, because they've massive squads. I don't see Sligo being able to afford to bring in many more, because I know they are fairly precarious with the budget and all that, and they really have to watch themselves, which is a good thing, and fair play to them. But I can see the likes of Waterford, because they just seem to have, there seems to be money there, there seems to be a budget there, and I'd say the reason they attracted this new manager, Coughlin, is that his name? Yeah, I would imagine he was promised players, because he has publicly sort of slated some of them players already. Said there's a lot of players in this dressing room that have kind of gone as far as they're going to go with this football club, and that's after 2 games.
Yeah, but on the other side of that, on the flip side of that, what do you do with them players? Them players have contracts within the club. Is he just going to banish them altogether? Like, fairness, Watford probably need about another 8 or 9 players.
Jesus.
Are they going to get that? Are they going to bring in that amount of players? Like, I can't see 1 or 2 more players making a difference to that team. I think they need a lot more. Where I think they're on 1 or 2, maybe 3 players. But yeah, look, if they go and throw stupid money at us, so look, we've seen how that worked out before, didn't we, for clubs?
Yeah, no, 100%. I agree. You're in a predicament in mid-season, because you're not getting rid of these lads. There's nowhere they can go unless, as you said, he makes them play for the under-20s and keeps paying their wages. Yeah. But that's absolutely bananas in this league. You're just kind of, you're pissing money down the drain with that kind of approach. But just by the way he was talking, he did say that some of them lads have sort of they've reached the end of this football club type of talk. He was really, really disgusted with them. After a few weeks in the door, it's not a good place to be.
It's not. I did actually had that interview. He said it's time, what do you say? It's time for a few of these players to get off the bus.
Oh.
Tony is done with them, But look, as I said, go back there. I definitely think the transfer window is big. But before that, now there's a lot of football now in the next couple of weeks. A lot of games.
Absolutely.
So it's a good chance to get, especially for us now. We've this game in hand. And That's against Watford, and we've Watford twice this month, which is going to be big.
No, it's massive, and look, we'll get to the upcoming games, but just on Waterford, like Waterford away on a Monday night, it's a fucking horrible place to go. It's a good spin, and we don't get an awful lot of joy down in the RSC. So, you know, depending how Friday night goes away in Bohs and Dalymount, like, you'd be happy enough to pick up a point in the RSC and come back up the road and then play them the next week at home.
Yeah, we played Watford 2 games in a row, have we?
I'm not 100%. I shouldn't have looked that one up.
Yeah, is it falling like that? I know we've Bohs this Friday and then Watford, isn't it?
Oh, and then Dundalk, the Friday after at home.
Oh, yeah, Dundalk, yeah.
Yeah, so.
Yeah,
Right.
which is, yeah. We'll save that one for another day. We're not getting too far ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, so right, that leads us nicely on to Dalymount this Friday night. I mean, as we said, they're coming off the back of a decent result up in Oriel. We're coming off the back of a decent result against Derry. We haven't lost in Dalymount in, Jesus, it's been a while. We've had three wins in a row, I think, going back to the season before last.
Yeah.
So, you know,
They beat us the last game of the season. They beat us at home, wasn't it? That was the last week.
Yeah,
Exactly. We won the rest of them.
Yeah. And yeah, we bet them away twice last year, and then once the year before, and it would be like 3 in a row in Dalymount that we've come out on the right side of it. And I'd hazard a guess to say that that's the first time that's ever happened, because I don't remember Dalymount being a happy hunting ground, even when we were a really good side years ago. It was always a tough place to go.
Yeah. I know, definitely. I definitely think a lot of that will be like comes into it because players have good memories of these grounds, and like they know what it takes to go up there and win. So all that does stand you good, but it is going to be tough, isn't it? There's no doubt. Even when we did go up there and win a few times, they were tough games.
Yeah, big time.
For some reason, that pitch just looks massive. It looks like 2 football pitches at times.
And it's funny because we spoke about it before, but it's not that big.
No. Don't know what it is. It's just that illusion, all right, of it. But I'd be confident now again going up here and get a result Friday. I think with everything, our confidence is on the right side. It's on the up. But it is going to be tough. It's going to be difficult.
Yeah, I know it's fucking stating the obvious, but we need to just go into it with the same sort of mindset that we went into the Derry game, and just keep it as tight as we can. You know, let them have the ball. They're going to have the ball. That's fine. You know, you keep the ball. Pass it around between your centre halves and your midfielders and all that. That's grand. And then hopefully an opportunity arises like it did last year for like Josh Thomas. I watched that goal again earlier today. It popped up on me social media feed. Conor Keeley, little through ball into Thomas, and you know we take all 3 points. I'm not sure we deserved all 3 points that night, but I mean there wasn't much in that game, to be honest. But we didn't have an awful lot of opportunities. But I'll fucking take that again on Friday night.
Yeah, and I definitely think it's going to be a night that's going to suit Warren and Alua.
Yeah.
While I definitely think if we can get them 2 into the match as much as we can, we're going to have a great chance.
Yeah, big time. And I think Bohs hate the sight of us in Dalymount as well, over the last couple of years, and because we've really put it up to them, and it's a great away trip as well. I love that little stand, and it's one to be sort of looking forward to. It's a class away day.
It is, and I know we spoke with this before, but I don't think Bohs have realised what they've done up there with that little stand.
Yeah.
They've absolutely created a serious atmosphere for like all away teams, and that does feed out onto the pitch, because I guarantee up here Friday night now, it's going to be bouncing. The absolute roof will be off this stand Friday night again.
Mm.
You know, I know the tickets went on sale there to season ticket holders already. So I couldn't imagine too many being on sale just the general public now Wednesday. I couldn't just see it.
No, I'd say it'll be sold out completely. And just on that point, Richie, like, I mean, as you said, I think every team sells out their allocation. It's only 450, so it's not that many, but I think every club, including the likes of Derry and Watford and Sligo and Drogheda and whoever else, but when you look at the away turnout the other night for Derry, just to bring that up, that's the worst I've ever seen for a Derry City team coming down to United Park.
It was shocking, wasn't it?
My God.
It was. You could actually count them.
Fucking unreal.
Yeah, and I was actually reading back a few comments then on Friday night after the game, and I know one or two of the pages had it up about it, and the Derry fans were trying to justify it. Oh, well, Drogheda didn't travel that well up here. We had a lot more up in Derry. A lot more. Maybe we didn't have massive numbers, but that was really poor. And you know what? It doesn't add to the game, doesn't it? It could be a poor enough atmosphere in Drogheda when that away stand is empty.
Yeah, it's cat. And look, just to clarify, I'm not slagging anyone who doesn't make away games. There's a million reasons in the world why you can't make an away game. You know, there's certain away games I can't make. You know, everyone has things going on in their own private lives and work commitments and this, that, and the other. It's not like I just don't bother my ass, right? I'm just not going to go. If there's a possibility to go, of course I'm going to go, because I love bloody away games,
Yeah.
especially long trips like down to Derry and you can stay the night and, you know, things like that. Amazing. I love that carry on. It's brilliant. But there's no denying that there's an apathy from the, we're not going to talk about Derry again, obviously we've got away from them, but there is definitely an apathy there from their supporters base that they've just signed off. They're just like, nah, we're not supporting this team. We're not wandering around the country watching this shite. You know what I mean? But I think even they would probably sell out the area in the away stand in Dalymount because as you said, it is such a great atmosphere.
Yeah, but just even going on, like, if you look at Derry, what did they get there in that game against Raw? Was it this 7,000 or 8,000? Or was it that much?
No, it was. You're right, 7.5, and there was no Rovers fans at.
Yeah, but you're getting that type of crowd. So you're saying you can't get 400 out of that crowd to go down to a game of Drogheda?
Yeah, very true.
You know, and I can understand they're playing shit and that, but that's the time when the team needs them, when they're playing shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, and I think for Drogheda, for the size of our town now and our fan base, I think we travel really well to away match. Now, I know we're lucky enough, we have a lot of games in Dublin, but I think we travel really well for the size of our fan base.
Yeah, look, I mean, I've always said it that, like, geographically, we're in a great spot. You know, up to Derry, you know, you're not going anywhere near the M50, or, you know, you're going cross country up through Monaghan, and then you're going across country over to Galway and Sligo as well. I mean, they're not the worst trips in the world.
No, definitely not.
Like, most trips for us are very doable and you know, decent enough distances. Like, there's nothing too crazy. Like, but yeah, look, I think you're right. I think we'll sell out the allocation. I don't think there's going to be an issue there. It's going to be a tough all night. I mean, even when Bohs aren't in a great run, they're still a tough team to play. They've got some great footballers: Ross Tierney, Dawson Devoy, Rooney, you know, Douglas James Taylor. I mean, there's a lot of decent quality in that side, and I know things haven't been going their way over the last eight or nine games they went without winning. I don't think they lost a lot of them, but I mean, they weren't just putting the ball in the net. I think they've been struggling to score goals over the last while. Has been one of the sort of major headaches for them. Collie Whelan and Dougie don't really seem to be firing on all cylinders. I know Dougie got an assist, and did he score a penalty the other night for them in Dundalk?
He scored a penalty in Dundalk. Yeah, I was delighted to see that, in fairness.
Yeah. No, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, no, I've seen a few videos then as well, because as I said before, I had to meet a Bohs fan on my job, and he was showing me a video then. It was the Saturday morning after the game, a few of the Bohs fans coming back from Dundalk on the train. And this is now, remember, this is them after winning 3-1. And they were all still calling for Reynolds to be sacked.
Jesus.
Yeah, they were like, oh, it doesn't matter that we won 3-1. He has to go. He has to be sacked. So I'm not happy with him. The fans have turned on him up there, and they'd be like the Derry fans once they get a grip of it. They don't really turn, so they don't. So
Right, well, that's good. That's good because we know damn well then if they're not winning after an hour in Dalymount on Friday that the crowd is going to turn nasty. Like,
yeah, oh yeah, that's it. I just keep the crowd quiet up there. You know what I mean? And as you said, they will turn nasty. And come here, it wouldn't even be an hour. They turn after half an hour.
yeah, no, you're right. Fuck them.
You know?
That'll just play into our hands.
Yeah, fingers crossed. So it's little things like that you need to go your way. Keep things nice and tight. Give them no chances. And hopefully then they'll live on like some Warren. Even Mark Doyle now, a bit of space up there to run on the ball, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to need definitely all 11 players firing and on the same beat as they say, you know.
Just on before we go, Richie, just on the starting 11, can't see Ryan starting again, can you?
Yeah.
If we have a choice.
Yeah, it's just, does he have the option? Is he going to put Godden back in?
Do you know
We'll
what?
have to go Godden, Farrell and Kavanagh then, isn't he?
I think I'd like to see Ryan start and just,
Yeah.
you know, if he's not injured and he hasn't got a knock, just to give us that fucking solid base to grow from. And then if we need to take him off somewhere in the second half, do that.
Yeah. No, look, I definitely agree with you, yeah. As I said here before, like, even if he got 60 minutes out of Ryan, like, it's massive. A big 60 minutes out of Ryan is big, you know. Now, look, I'm not saying he can't play 90 plus, he can, I know he can. But if you have to do that, like, I know, because games are coming thick and fast. But if you got a good 60 minutes out of him and then you throw in likes of God and then to finish out the job, I think would be good. But I think he'll go the same team. Again.
Farrell and Kavanagh in the middle as well.
Yeah, and Ryan. Yeah.
And Ryan,
Yeah,
okay.
you know, Keeley and Bulger as well. Bulger was brilliant as well last Friday.
Oh, he really was, man.
Yeah,
When he's on it, he's just he's top class, like.
Yeah, I was talking to him as well during the week when I was talking to Baji, I was talking to him, and I actually asked him, I said, look, would you rather play a back three or a back four? And he said he actually doesn't mind.
Right.
Doesn't mind. You know, he's quite comfortable in both, he said. But I thought he was brilliant the other night. He was class, himself and Connor. So I think
and it was
good.
It was good to see Quinno getting on the pitch as well. I know he was brought on as a sub for the last 20-15 minutes or something like that the other night. So I mean, you don't want to see any of them sort of getting frozen out. And I know if we are going to be playing with two centre halves rather than three, this is the way it's going to be. Keeley seems to be the sort of omnipresent. He's not getting dropped, captain and all that. And then it's going to be Bulger or Quinn. But judging on that performance the other night, I don't think there's any way you're changing that back four.
No, I don't think so. And you don't really like changing the winning team. Why should you?
No, 100%. And you know what, Richie? We need Kane and Agbaje to keep up them levels, because they're the levels required. And I mean this, like I thought both of them in the second half the other night was fucking class. I thought Kane was absolutely, he was my man in the match. I just thought he was brilliant. All those little blocks he was getting in, and he was full of running and full of energy. And I thought Agbaje handled Duffy really, really well. One of the toughest players in the league to be going up against. I know we were kind of doubling up on him and all that, but excuse me, still in all, I thought he was really, really good, and it was his probably best 45 minutes he's played for us. So we need that. We need that in Dalymount. We're not going to get away with anything up there. It's going to be really tough, hostile, big pitch. They're going to come out of the blocks at us really, really quickly. But as we said earlier on, if we can settle into the game and get them on the break, we know we're capable of it. We've done it many times up there in the last few years, and I'm pretty confident we could probably come out of there with something. I'll get your prediction. We'll move on to the Waterford game really quickly as well, but just a prediction for Dalymount, Richie.
Yeah, I think we can go up and get a 1-1.
1-1, right. I'm going to go with a 1-0. I think we'll nick it.
Oh, look. Yeah, yeah. No, we're definitely capable of it. All right, we are definitely capable of it. Just not going back over it ourselves, but we just need to stay in that game as long as we can.
Yeah.
Just stay in it as long as we can. And yeah, look, definitely capable of nicking it.
I'm looking on the bright side there. Don't get me wrong. A 1-1 in Dalymount would be a fucking great result after winning 3 out of 4.
Yeah.
Absolutely would be. I suppose looking at the Waterford match, again, a lot of it depends on how we get on Friday night in Dalymount. I always feel that with the Friday Monday games, if you get a positive result on the Friday, you're going into the Monday then sort of full of beans and thinking we can get something from down there. But I'll be totally honest with you now, if we could nick a draw down in the RSC, I'd be happy.
Yeah, and they're tough, aren't they? The Friday Monday games are tough.
Yeah,
like,
they are.
And I know we spoke before about it, our professional club now, but it's still only giving the players Saturday and the Sunday to recover. You don't really probably train and you're back at it again. Plus you have to travel to Watford on Friday to the long old spin. So yeah, it's tricky, it's tough, that's what it is, but I think we're capable of going down there and winning as well.
I do feel like we're capable of going down there and winning, excuse me. I just don't know what we're going to get from Watford.
Yeah.
Because they have played all right in patches, haven't they? I think they did a really good 45 minutes and then they sort of collapsed in the second half. I think obviously defensively they're struggling and they're struggling to score goals as well. I think Podge Hammond only has 1 so far this season. I mean, from a man who was nearly up into double figures over the last few years, he's 14 and 15 goals.
Yeah.
He's a threat, like without a doubt. But I just think it just all goes back again to the obvious. If we can stay defensively solid, like we know we can go anywhere and get a result. It might not be fucking top class football and possession based football and all that, but we don't give a shit about that. All we give a shit about at this moment in time is going out there and getting results. So, 4 points somewhere. 4 points over the weekend, whether it's a win in Dalymount and a draw in Waterford or vice versa, would be a great weekend.
That'd be brilliant. Yeah, that would be class. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it really would. Look, as we said already, 2 tough games, really, 2 tough away matches.
Exactly.
So, but no, I think we're in the right. As I said, we are built on strong defensive setup, and I think that's a good springboard for us.
Yeah.
Never going to dominate teams with the ball. I think, as I said before, I think when our back 4 and keeper are firing and are on it and playable, I think the whole team then bounces off that, so, and I think they are at the minute. The last couple of games, you've just seen it in them, a lot more solid. So, yeah, hopefully that will get us going again,
Yeah, definitely. It's I've been saying it there for a while. It's just this consistency that we seem to be lacking. And if you take the Rovers game out of it, as we said, it's 3 wins out of the 4, minus Rovers and Talloway. We got a bit of a spanking, but there was reasons for that too. So hopefully we are sort of building some sort of a consistency, and hopefully we can get a couple of decent results starting on Friday in Bohs. Are you on the bus or are you driving down?
I'm going to drive to Derry Friday, yeah.
Yeah. And you're going to Waterford then on Monday?
We're going to Watford Monday as well, yeah.
Brilliant. Are you doing it overnight or are just driving down and back?
No, we're going to drive down and back, so we are on the same day. So we were going to stay, but we just decided against it. It's a bit pricey, the hotels below at the minute.
Even on a Monday?
Yeah, it was a bit pricey now. Look, we probably didn't look into it that deep, so we didn't. The fact there was change and that was just rearranged, so we probably just sort of let it slide. But look, I'll be off Tuesdays anyway. I'm off Tuesday, so I don't mind driving back the same night. So
grand.
Right. I have 4 in my car, and we'll have 7 of us going down anyway.
Oh, happy days. So hopefully there's a few. I wouldn't say there'll be a massive crowd on the Monday, but hopefully there's a few.
And are you going to Derry?
Oh, I'll go to Daily Mail if I'm feeling up for it. I'm starting to fucking fade away here now. This cough is getting to me, but hopefully I'll be all right by Friday. I'm working on Monday, so I can't see myself making the RSC. But you never know.
Yeah, we might see you below.
Right, Richie, I'll talk to you, man. I'll talk to you in Daily Mail Friday night. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, see you in Derry, man. Looking
All
forward
right,
to it.
man. Cheers. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
And the fishermen come, and the fishermen go, and the water gets dirty all the time. Pollution, pollution, it's killing all the fish, and it's hard to make a living on the mine. Less than 20 years ago, there was money to be